Mackems, we're back on the show. Talking Sunderland and everything you know. Conrad's got the numbers, proper stats machine. Mike's optimistic, living out the Mackem dream. Bowers keeps it steady, cool and level-headed. Wayne's already moaning, man, I'm shattered, I need my bed. Baby, are you ready to go? Let's get carried away, man, let's steal the show. Midweek Mackems every Wednesday night. Veterans, passion in the red and white.
Hello everyone, it's Midweek Mackems and we're back just in time, maybe a few minutes late. We'll blame Michael Bowers.
Blame me for that, yeah.
We've been in here for hours waiting for him. That's
I sure you have.
Last night.
Totally not a ploy to get Wayne out of stay out of bed, get Wayne to stay out of bed longer.
Yeah.
Not happening. It's not happening.
It's usually a ploy to get Wayne into bed. That's what I hear. So
Exactly.
If you want to interpret it that way, Mike, then that's entirely up to you.
Well, welcome everybody. Whichever channel you're watching on Black Cats TV, on Only Fools and SAFC, and on Michael Bowers 541. Whichever channel you're on, make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe and all that wonderful stuff. It really does help and it gets it out to more people as we're live. Wayne, how's your apart from football? How's your week been?
Not too bad. Not too bad. The usual. Work, eat, sleep, repeat. Normally in it, and then obviously a bit of sun on the side. But I apologise if there's snots all out. I'm armed with my toilet roll here. I'm full of man flu, so I do apologise, but I'll try my best. So it will be a 10 o'clock bedtime.
Did you catch something on your glamorous trip to the sunny seas of Bolton?
That's probably what it was. That lovely shithole in Bolton. That's probably what it was.
Michael Bowers and companion, how are you doing today?
Yeah, Luna's who decided to join me for this. I'm not doing too bad. Yeah, this is the first time he asked me this because I've been scrambling around to get back from work, get the two dogs walked, fed, get changed, get on here. So it's been a whirlwind, and now she's trying to play with the football. Get off, Luna. Yeah, sorry, apologies about the colours that she has on her fur. She can't help that, unfortunately, but we'll ignore that because she's cute. But I'm not doing too bad. How are you getting on?
Not so bad. One pack of bleach and some red hair dye would solve that out. Conrad's got spare hair dye. How you doing, Conrad?
Loads of it. Absolute loads of it for years. No, it's true. Yeah. No, yeah, I'm all right. Shattered for some reason. I've had a day off work and yet I'm more tired for some reason than I think it's because I never really woke up. That's probably the way.
Yeah. Yeah, I can only procrastinate for so long. We're gonna have to talk about football, gents, because they'll only start getting up to
win tonight instead.
Well, I mean, yeah. It's talk about
one for anyone who cares.
Let's talk about the football. We'll start with you, Wayne. The lineup. You saw the lineup come out. I think we were questioning it before the first ball was kicked, right? What was your thoughts?
This Trehune experiment that he keeps on persisting with. I know it's worked in previous games, but there's always a doubt there. You know, Trehune is not a midfielder. We know that, and it didn't work on Saturday. The lineup, even we knew Xhaka wasn't playing, and to play a 4-4-2 with Lafayette and Siddiqui in midfield was a really strange decision in my eyes, especially when you've got Getrauda on the bench, you know, and a Diarra back as well. So that midfield straight away was weak. You know, couple that with their two strong wingers. You know, they've got two good players in Somerville and Bowen. And to go two up front was a really strange decision. You know, I think whether he thought because they were struggling that we could get at them, similar to the way he set up against Man United when it backfired and bit him on the arse. And for me, it did exactly that. You know, we were all over the place. We were surrendering possession in midfield. Couldn't get out. We kept giving the ball away, and we know that the first half panned out. But the lineup was a really, really strange selection for me. He hasn't getting it wrong too many times this season, but big style on Saturday, big style.
Yeah. Conrad, similar thoughts? I mean, we all know Wayne loves Lafayette, so Lafayette, we're a fucking player. What was your thoughts on the lineup?
You could have played my version where it said Callum McFadden. What a fucking player!
Yeah.
I don't know. It was one of them that all week there'd been the rumours of, what was it, Mayenda's out and, going to be out for the season. Then it was the murmurs of Xhaka's injured. And then we saw him travelling and you were like, oh, well, it can't be that bad if he's going. And then it was all like, well, no, he's going, but he's injured. And then it happened. The lineup dropped and suddenly Xhaka's not in it or even on the bench. And you're like, oh, shit. This is our first look at the Xhaka-less Sunderland and how we're going to do. And then when you look deeper and you went, so you didn't replace him in the midfield, you just moved the right back who's been playing into midfield into that position, added on top of that, you've given him the captain's armband, which I thought was a fine decision at first, but suddenly when you go in, you're the captain, and you've got to play like Granit Xhaka, and you've got to dictate the whole game and then lead the whole game. It's a bit like...
No pressure.
No pressure at that moment, and it just, obviously, it didn't do him any good. He was arguably at fault for the first goal. He was, or at least some of the blame for it. He was definitely at fault for the penalty in the second one, which I hate the fact it is a penalty because it's just, you leave your leg out, you're asking someone just to clatter into you and go, oh, I've been brought down, but it is. And I don't think he was anything at fault with the third one, but it was on his side, so I'm going to give him the blame anyway. No, that's a bit harsh. It was a worldie, the third one.
Are you ready to timestamp? It'd have been better off putting Dan Neil in there. There you go.
Well, he's gone now. He's gone now.
I don't have that option anymore.
I agree with you. Rather than try and shoehorn Trey Hume into a position where he can't play, that just shows you how much faith he had in Dan Neil, but he didn't get him anywhere near the team. And he was on his way out, but that's...
Same with Gatrada. You're just sitting there going, like, why? Is he banging Regis's daughter or something? Like, how does he not get in this team, like, at any opportunity? Even if you went, right, Hume's going to play in the midfield, you've got a right-back slot. You love playing these two right-backs where one can bomb on, the other one sits in. One goes into midfield, the other one sits in, which doesn't work against counter-attacking sides because you just get either you're too exposed up there or you're in the wrong position, which is why you're at fault for the first goal because no one knew who was watching Somerville. Great jumping header, by the way. Can't take anything away from that.
Yeah, he flew.
But two of the right-backs just let him run across them and didn't follow him. And then on the other one, no one knew who was meant to be where. So the defence were just all over, really. And Ballard and Alderete were trying their best to deal with stuff. And it just, you can't do it if you're just getting ripped apart on one side and it's just constantly coming in. And then when you look at the other side, sorry, I was very passionate about this game. Reinildo had the worst game he's had for us in the Sunderland shirt this season. He got tortured by Jared Bowen, which is strange because on the flip game, he had Jared Bowen in his pocket the entire game. So I don't know if that's a form thing or a system thing from Potter to Nuno, but it was just like this. It was completely the other way around and he was getting tortured. Luckily not sent off, really. I think Dermot Gallagher, who's a terrible pundit referee, but still made the point of it's one of them that I could see a referee giving it, but on its own, it's not enough for a yellow card, which is probably why he got away with it, even though it's several more fouls. But that was why we had to take him off at half time because any other little thing he was going to do was going to be off you go. And we need him for future games. So,
Michael, is Xhaka-less Sunderland a Knackerless Sunderland? Is that what we're seeing?
I like that.
I like
it.
Good pun, dead joke pun. Anyway, I think for me it was. I don't think it was necessary. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that Xhaka not being there didn't have a massive influence on the game because of course it would have done. You look at it's like if you took, all right, since the Manchester playing, like here's a good example. If you take, so I don't know if any of you watched their game against Villa on Sunday, but without Bruno, they look quite hopeless in trying to break Villa down. If you take Anton Stack out of Leeds' midfield, if you take, it was good. Even if you took, for instance, to a degree, Haaland or Semenyo out of Man City's team, if you take a team's best player, shock, gasp, horror, they're not as good. So I think, it's a concept that's, it's certainly worth remembering. But at the same time, I think I can't get my head around why Gattuso wasn't starting. And this isn't just in hindsight either. When I looked at the team sheets, what was it, an hour and 15 minutes before kickoff? Exactly, John. I was saying exactly the same thing. To me, that makes the most natural sense. He's the one that does the closest to replicating what Xhaka can do in a similar sort of position. It meant with him and Siddiqui, there would have been bite. I mean, obviously, the caveat is they've never played together alongside each other before in the Premier League. But I think it would have added the bite, it would have added the tenacity, it would have had the energy of Siddiqui, everything there that goes with it. And for me, even beforehand, what was it like Lafay and Siddiqui in the midfield?
Aye.
And even then, to me, I thought that, you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of when we played Stoke, when Alex Neil came back to the Stadium of Light. But the team sheet we played that day on the Mowbray was very lopsided and very, very attacking, and it wasn't very balanced. And that, for me, was the issue on Saturday, just gone. It didn't appear very balanced. And my dog's choosing now to play with a football. Typical. But
Can she play defensive midfield?
Did you play midfield?
Luna, can you play defensive midfield? She's just staring at it like I'm crazy. But yeah, no, I mean, look, at the end of the day, it just wasn't a balanced sort of midfield, and I think we got completely overran. And to highlight, I don't know what Conrad said, I felt like both West Ham's wingers, Somerville and Bourne, were outstanding. I thought they were.
Yeah.
It's not very often that Mukiele and Reynaldo get the run out like that, and they both got tortured repeatedly. So it was no wonder I was with what you guys said. And I criticise referees all the time. I don't know how Reynaldo didn't get a second yellow card. Can you do that any quieter, Luna, if you try?
What you're saying there, though, about Bourne and Somerville absolutely dominated our two fullbacks. West Ham are a team third from bottom. You know, we've been seeing all season, we've been struggling in that area creatively. And look at the way them two played in a third bottom team.
They did just beat Spurs. You might think they might be turning it around and stuff like that. So we'll see.
Before then,
by the way.
Before then, they hadn't won since October, I will say. Before that FA Cup game, Spurs game. But
I think just to point out, though, if you look at West Ham's teams, okay, Paqueta's not there, and looks like he's going. He looks like he's leaving. Is it Flamengo? He's going to. So look, Flamingo land. I think apart from the fact he is going. If you look at the team lineup that West Ham, okay, the strikers, I think the two that one, at least I can't remember the one they played up front. One of them was one of their new January recruits. But if you look at other positions on the pitch, you've got Somerville, you've got Bowen, you've got Matthias Fernandes from Southampton, you've got Soucek in there, Wan-Bissaka. Sorry, yeah. You know, like, for me, West Ham's squad's not a third bottom squad, really. It's just how toxic things have been behind the scenes that it's been performing as poorly as they have, and they have been apparently starting to improve under Nuno. So I'm not surprised we're lost. I mean, of course we're wearing the black kit, so that's the reason why. But we'll just you know, in fact, there you go. There's my question already. If you want to jump into it now, should we just ban the black kit from being played ever again this season?
I thought this earlier on, and I'm going to Arsenal, and Arsenal playing white shorts.
Yeah, we're going to wear the black kit at Arsenal, aren't they?
Yeah, we're going to wear the black kit.
Well, okay, then can I give Conrad a bit of optimism here? Right. If I'm right, there's a sequence when we've worn the black kit, if I'm right. We lost 2-0 at Burnley, then drew 0-0 at Palace, then lost 1-0 at Fulham, then drew 0-0 at Brighton. So we've lost 3-1 at West Ham, which means it's going to finish Arsenal 0, Sunderland 0.
I'm fine with that.
If that happens, then brilliant. Absolutely.
Even Mike said he'll take a 0-0.
I'll take a point, definitely. Let's get
against Burnley on Monday?
Yeah. No. I'm soft to my 9 points. I think I'm a bit out for that, though. Let's go to the chat and get some of them in.
To be fair to West Ham, they played very good first. I think a lot of it was down to how poor we were, but you can't knock the credit that you can't discredit them. I think if they perform like that, really West Ham shouldn't be getting relegated, but you never know.
We made them look amazing. Yes, definitely. Changing crisis. Did Hume forget how to play football at the weekend? Wretched performance. Jimmy Paddy, Hume was bloody awful. He looks so much better as a right winger.
Certainly there compared to midfield, yeah.
He fits in a role, right? Siddiqui needs to drop back and play Diarra and Lafay in midfield. Actually, we'll speak about that in a second. Mundle is very championship. We need a Xhaka Mark II, maybe something to look for in the transfer last week of the transfer window, not even a week. Mundle is a player that you bring on when you're winning 3-0. Shame we never get an easy win. Why not Rig in the middle? Baffling, says Jimmy Paddy. And Mundle is not Premier League, says Stephen.
What do you guys think about that, by the way? Mundle. Because I'm someone who I like him, but I'm stuck. But I do. It's. Yeah, go on. Sorry, Wayne. Go on. You see what you're going to say.
He's played 9-10 games a season. I think he's showed absolutely shite all. To be fair, I know he's come back from injury and he's still getting up to the Premier League speed of things. But on what I've seen of him, he tries to run through players, not going around them. He just seems to just run into them. And there's numerous times on Saturday where he had a chance to go down the line and beat his man. He's got knee confidence, turns around, comes back inside and guns either sideways or backwards. And that's not the player we've seen last season in the Championship. So whether he's just not good enough to go and beat a man, or he's lacking in confidence or lacking in a bit of fitness. But for me, since he come back from injury, he's not the same player.
That's
you think-
my worry, because we see that with a lot of players. We saw it, didn't we? Because it wasn't Ekwa started to come good, then he went off injured and never ever came back the same way. So that's
Do you think?
kind
Do you
of
think
worrying.
it's because full-backs in the Premier League are much better?
Well,
Possibly,
Wan-Bissaka's one of the, like, I know he's playing for West Ham or in the bottom three, but like
He's
you
not a
said
bad
about their
full-back, though, is he?
No, he's one of the best defensively sound fullbacks in the division. Remember when he was at Man United? Everyone said defensively he's fine. It's the bit that they want Man United fullbacks to be getting on and sort of joining the attacks, which he couldn't do. So he went to West Ham, and I think West Ham have just been in a terrible position for a good few years, which is why it's not worked out. But defensively he's sound. But Mundell looked all right against Everton in the Cup, but they had no one really. They were playing at right back properly anyway, and he still refused to go down the line at any point and try and whip a ball in with his left foot. He's so one-dimensional, which is strange because Portsmouth goal, I know I'm going back a while there, last season when he scored against Portsmouth, he ran the outside, went out on his left and smashed it in the bottom corner.
Right.
But every time he wants the ball now, he wants to knock it 3 yards that way so that he can run onto it and get a shot. And it's a bit like your defences in the Premier League are too tightly knit for you to earn that half a yard and just and sort of do it. There was once, I think it was the one where Brobby held it up at like 40 yards and played it out to him. And he sort of went, right, come on, take him on down the line and put it across. And he sort of chopped back and it went about 5 meters. And one of their players just ran off with it and then he fouled him. And I was like, that's just not good enough. Like you couldn't have trapped the ball at all. Like, is that what you're telling me? It wasn't like Brobby smashed the ball at you. It was a pass.
Darren says rather have them than a Dingra, which is interesting. I mean,
much of a muchness, I think.
Well, I was going to say that. Is this something we should be looking for in this last week of the transfer window? An experienced left midfield?
We've been saying that for weeks and weeks and weeks. That's the strikers are not the issue. The issue is this creativity in the final third on the wings. We haven't got it. I think Conrad put a stat in the group, didn't he, during the week of how many goals and assists we've done from our wingers, and it's absolutely shocking.
I'm just trying to find it now. It's something a bit like we've got like the lowest percentage of like goals and assists from our wingers, like out of the Premier League almost. I'm trying to find
even
it
worse
now.
than Wolves.
It'd be up there. Like it's just they
they
don't contribute.
My feelings on Mundell is a bit weird because I don't like judging players too quickly, and I don't like because Mundell's barely had any minutes in the Premier League. But at the same time, if you hark back to when he made his debut, well, I say debut, first appearance since Clark was sold, which was Burnley at home, funnily enough, last season. Now, I remember in the first few minutes of the game, he had an effort where he skinned his right, he skinned his full-back, and then got into a good position and then blazed his shot into Rose Ed. But equally, in the same game, he scored the winning goal and showed a lot of composure for it. I wonder if... the comment about rather having him than Adingra, I think Adingra's technically some way better than Mundell, if I'm honest. Technically, I think there is something there, but what I feel Mundell offers a lot more of is defensive work rate than Adingra, and that's why Mundell's been playing more so than Adingra. I mean, even in AFCON, when Mundell's been back the last few weeks, Adingra's obviously, Everton was playing on the right, but for me, I feel like with Mundell, I'm looking at and I'm going, his work rate is phenomenal. I think that's something I don't think you can ever accuse him of. But his end product for me, and I'm not just talking about goals and assists, I'm talking like technical ability. When you get into the final third, it's just a bit, I don't know. It does scream to me Championship at the moment. I think is there potential for him to develop into a Prem player? Yeah, I'd say there probably is. Otherwise, Spurs wouldn't have wanted to keep him. I know Spurs are, shite at the moment. But even then, they would have wanted to keep all of him. But if I'm honest, I don't know. It's a weird one. Like I remember last season, there was a lot of our fans going on about who was better, Mundell versus Clark. Now I think Mundell's a lot more athletic, but technically I think Clark's better than Mundell. For example, I'm not saying I'd have
more productive than Mundell.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying I would have Clark for the Premier League.
Both struggled in the Premier League.
But I was going to say I'm not saying I'd have Clark in the Premier League, but when people were comparing them, I thought pretty straightforward. I thought Clark technically quite some way better than Mundell.
Can I ask a side question on Adingra, which is, I only just thought about it, but don't forget that when Watson was being touted for Brighton in January last year,
we were talking of getting Adingra on loan, weren't we?
We were talking of getting Adingra on loan in the Championship. Now, it was almost done, and then at the last minute, the deal fell through with Watson, so that none of them went. Now, are we overestimating what we expect from Adingra in a Premier League player? Because we were a few hours away from him potentially being a Championship player with us, and then we got him in the Premier League, and it was like, all right, well, he's a Premier League player, and it was like, well, hang on, we almost got him 5 months ago. when we were in 4th in the Championship and Watson was going the other way. You know, it was a bit like, are we maybe overestimating him? And he's actually not actually that good, but he scored our goal at least.
Do you think
an assist?
When the games that we saw him for Brighton, or the games I saw him for Brighton, he was 10 times the player we're seeing. He had a goal threat. He was creative. He was taking people on. He looks totally different to that. Whether he's just not settled in the northeast, I didn't know. But he's not the
style
same
of play, maybe. Like, because Brighton are quite an attacking, football-based side, and I don't mean to talk negativity about us because we've got 33 points and we're doing fantastically well and getting big results in big games, but we're not set up to be a forward-thinking team at any point. We're sort of defensively sound and we sort of work it side to side and we wait for opportunities, which is, Mike, me and you were talking on the weekend, and it's a bit like strikers need to have more shots, but yet when they're only having like 3 touches of the ball all game, you can't expect them to suddenly just get their first touch at the 60th minute and bang it in the top corner when they haven't touched the ball. It's
constantly that final third, and even when we do get into that opportunistic position on the outside of the box, we give teams loads of space and they have shots and they score. Mm-hmm. Nobody gives us that space. It just seems like we are the only ones that give people that space. Let's drag it back to the actual game, though, because we've gone like way off on tangent. We'll ignore the first half. We got absolutely, completely rinsed.
You're going to say we won the second half 1-0.
Technically, the changes at halftime. Diarra coming on, Hume coming off, because, he had to go and find his brain. Sirkin coming on for Ronaldo. I think that was because of the yellow card. And Talby coming on from Mundle. Do you think that as a starting lineup plays this game entirely differently? I know it's a difficult thing to say, but I thought Diarra looked better in this game than I saw him before he went away to Africa.
Yeah, he looked like a player that had been playing football and playing for a while, and it was like, wow, this is a great play. Which I don't know. We might end up seeing him at the base of defensive midfield because he can play as a 6, an 8, and a 10 through the midfield. He's central, and he can play out on the right as well. But I don't want him shoehorned out there. I want the physicality in the midfield that he brings, especially if Xhaka's not there. But yeah, he looked like he'd been playing with us the whole season and sort of just got his head down, got on the ball, and just was like, right, I'm going. A bit like
Talby with as well.
And really linked in well with McKaylee, with Brobby. It just sort of felt like this is a nice cohesion you've got here. Talby didn't have many touches of it, but when he did, it was like, right, find a man, move. Find a man, move. It was just little simple things that were not happening in the first half. Bowen didn't really get a look in the second half. I don't know if he just wasn't bothered. I wouldn't say Sirkin pocketed him or anything. I think maybe defensively we were just doing a bit better of a job of holding him off. But don't forget, Sirkin looked terrible against Leeds, but then had nothing against City when we played them, and Sirkin played as well. So he can do a job for us. It's just, maybe it's just different styles of play. Sort of like Ronaldo and Bowen was worse off for Ronaldo this time, but Sirkin brought something different for him.
I mean, Robbie's goal, Wayne, that's the kind of thing we want to see, right? That's the deliveries we need to see for strikers to have them opportunities. It was amazing.
Well, that's it. One good cross in the box, one goal. And it was a hell of a header. The way he took it, all these goals that he scored so far this season, they've all been good goals. It's been knee tap-ins. That's really. They've all been they've all needed putting away. And that just shows you what he can do given the chance. And I think the crosses that we've had this season, 2 of them have been from Nordy. The one against the Mags for Walter, that one on Saturday. And so our fullbacks are putting better quality in the box now.
He's got another one as well, the Crystal Palace. It was the exact same movement, the little 1-2, plays Nordy into space and crosses it, and that was it. We scored 2 goals that are identical in the last 3.
Aldereti's cross for me ended against West Ham in the first game of the season. So it's our defence that's creating things. It's just frustrating. I mean, I know Hume's getting, just again back to Trey Hume, I know Trey Hume's getting loads of penalties here, but it's not just him, by the way. Mienda was absolutely shite. Mundle was shite.
He wasn't there. Mienda wasn't there. He didn't feel like he was part of the game.
No, he didn't. I don't think he quite knew if... Sorry to interrupt you, Wayne. I don't think Mienda knew if he was right wing or second striker. He just looked like he was just around and didn't really know what he was doing.
And similar to what I said about Mundle, he seems to be a one-trick pony now. He seems to just get the ball. He does that little jink, and defenders just work him out quickly. He's got one trick, and that's how you play him. And they just show him inside, take the ball off him. That's it. So, but I come back to Brobby's goal. I mean, Brobby for me is a quality centre forward, and he will get you goals given the chances. I think he's proven that. We just need to it's that service that we need to sort out. So,
if we had Sessegnon now, I think he'd be on 10.
Right? I mean, he's not one of these where you can. I mean, I think there was a chance in the second half where there was a ball played through him. He hasn't got the pace to run onto balls. That has to be balls either hold up or balls from the wide areas to get goals.
Did you see the one in the first half? Sorry, where I think he was asking for it off Siddiqui, and Siddiqui sort of played it through for him, and he just turned to him and just went like feet because he's going to pin the defender to him and then roll him, a bit like he did against Brentford to win the penalty, and a bit like he did against Crystal Palace several times. He wants the ball to his feet so he can lock the defenders in on him and then draw people in and maybe free up the wingers to get in. Playing the ball in behind for him isn't the way. If that was Isidore, you go fair enough, or if that's Leyenda, you go fair enough. But not him to his feet. Look at the fucking size of him. Like, give him the ball. He's going to hold it. Look, Steve Hewitt sent me this, and it's exactly what we needed. Where is it? Look, mate, you can make a whole cup of tea, and the time that Robbie was holding that ball up against Chelsea, like it's that's what he's there for. You give him try and take it off him.
Conrad missed a trick there. You literally should have put your Mandalorian helmet on, put that on, and then go, this is the way.
This is the way, yeah.
That is the way to play. Just quickly on I know obviously, I think, I agree on Brobby. The one good thing from the game, well, two, is we've scored in the black kit finally. That's off them. That's that monkey off our back. But also, Brobby's at his 5th goal of the season now, I think it is.
Yeah, top scorer.
I've said, yeah, he is now. Jesus. But I've always said that I think Brobby, we did say this at the start of the season, that although Isidore at one point was starting and was the main striker, we said across the course of the season in games that Brobby would become the starting striker, because we spent 20 million quid on him. So I think, and probably the reason we got him for 20 million quid was because of all the stuff that was going on at Ajax, and that's why we got him as cheaply as we did.
And look how shit Ajax are doing in the Champions League now.
Shocking, isn't there?
Yeah. Well, if anyone's interested, it's 1-1 still between PSG and Saudi Arabia. Although Saudis did score, but it was offside. So I want to ask a question on the wingers, actually, because I think it's an interesting point. Going into the start of the season, we obviously our PSR position was obviously quite good and still is, I believe, but it's not a limitless pot of money. Did we not have to sort out the goalkeeper, midfield and defence first to make sure we got enough points to stay in games to stay up? Because they are by far cheaper to recruit for than wingers and strikers.
I have no doubt there was some compromises. I bet we had £60 million players, £70 million players on the list of we'd love to get these. But they had to compromise. They knew they were doing a complete rebuild. Only a few players made it through from that team, because every other team that comes up goes back down again. That's the recent history of it anyway. So we wanted to break that mold. So I have no doubt there was compromise on, we've got to really build up a strong defense. We've got to somehow miraculously find the best keeper in the world. Put him in his Sunderland shirt.
Just for 11 million quid, yeah.
I get what you're saying, though, but I mean, 25 million quid for a Dingra is not cheap, by the way.
No, I know.
It's not, but in Premier League terms, the top draw wingers is.
Yeah, in Premier League first team wingers.
Unless I've done it wrong. Yeah. Wayne is right. Like 20-odd million isn't nothing. Like 20 million quid is not nothing. But I think if we were going to get the type of players, like for example, if you look at someone like Semenyo, he cost 65 million. And let's be honest, the only reason he didn't cost a lot more was because of a release clause. That's the money you have to pay for that.
And we had him and he was shite.
Sorry?
And we had him and he was shite.
That is also true. But the point.
Could we not forget our star player, please? Because he had the second best opportunity of the game. Luke O'Nine came on and nearly scored a worldie.
I nearly fell out my seat when I keeper dropped it. I was thinking we're back in it.
Probably, but at least it was quite funny. It was bad. Yeah. I just think for me, the reason I asked that question is because obviously you're talking about, I don't know if you saw, there was an article from the iPaper basically. Mark Douglas, I think, wrote it. I know him from uni actually, but Mark Douglas wrote it and he said something like, we're planning to stick rather than twist. No, basically we're planning to not spunk money where there isn't a deal to be done, and I think that's quite sensible, because I think in the summer, I wouldn't be surprised if we went went all out for a top draw winger or two in the summer.
It's funny you say that.
Sorry,
because it's funny you say that, because according to, I think it was financial experts, but also on, I think it was the Telegraph had put out that they think Sunderland's PSR room, when they're working it out, is 120 million still in to spend. Like if they got in trouble. But if you're sitting there now in January trying to buy players like that, you've got to think the market.
You're not going to get a good deal in January.
No, you're not. And I think we're probably sitting there on 33 points going, well, we're going to stay up. Like, we're going to be fine. Like,
the
supply what we've got is enough to get us through the end of the season.
Yeah, the supply we're worrying about, does the supply to strikers we're worrying about solve itself with Talby coming back in and with Xhaka coming back and with Diarra coming in on much better form? Does this problem just solve itself? Are we worried about
Traore coming back as well, by the way?
He's out for a game or two, isn't he? I think, but yeah, he will be back here.
Talby and Tarby is the case for Tarby. I know he's only 20, but is there a case for him to be given a chance?
Could be interesting one because I'm not sure if he's one for the future yet. So I'm excited to see him play. Hopefully in the cup game or something like that.
He's not a young boy. He's 20, so why is he in the team?
I think if you look at it this way, though, we spent like over 3 million for him, and I think the reason we have done is because we're going to give him the patience and development.
That's depressing that he was born in 2005, isn't
it?
Sorry, no.
Cheers, we weren't depressed enough this week.
Yeah, there we go.
Bastard, 2006.
But just for me, I wouldn't be surprised if we signed a top draw winger this summer because we've got another. Yes, Sans, I know you're there. Can you play defensive midfield in place of Xhaka? No, what I was good because I think this summer you've had another year of the Premier League money, haven't you? And that's massive.
And we get our playoff money.
Well, that is true as well. But my point was,
European qualifying money,
120 million pound. We're still in the I like that, Captain Dog. Even if you have another 120 million pound, I think you said, Conrad, that we could have leeway with, right? But that also doesn't factor in when we sell a player because then that goes up even more. So. I did say at the start of the window, although obviously, look, I want Sunderland to strengthen every window we can. I wouldn't be surprised if we hadn't signed any attacking players unless there was a really good deal to be done there. Personally for me, I would look at if Fulham are getting Oscar Bob, I'd maybe ask the question about Harry Wilson.
I think he's going in the summer on a free, so I think he's.
But that's why I'm thinking. If you offered it money now, then is there not a chance for that to get done?
I think he potentially.
Wages is a problem, though.
I think he's waiting now to get more wages in the summer, competing clubs where he can then dictate.
Which is fair enough. I get that.
We'll just get Fermin Lopez and Bram Diaz, and we'll just get them there. They'll do the job.
And oh my God, I'm sick of hearing that name.
Let's wrap up the West Ham. I'm conscious of time for Wayne, so let's wrap up the West Ham game. Terrible game. I'm not even going to ask you for a man of the match. It's too difficult. We know who the wooden spoon of the match is. We brush it off. We go again. We're still in a great position in the Premier League right now, and we know we're the only Premier League team with an undefeated home record. So that is an absolute great banner to wave.
That better not come back to bite us on Monday.
On Monday,
let's hope. Well, let's get some of the comments in so we're not excluding our lovely chat. 144 people in here. Thank you for being here. Whichever channel you're watching on, make sure you like and support.
Sub on Spotify as well.
And Spotify if you're listening to us on there. Paul Spector says, got a new Enzo chant. Wayne hates the fee. Who's Enzo Lafee? I just don't think he understands. He's Super Reggie's man.
He's better than Zidane.
Wayne hates Enzo Lafee.
I think grow up, Wayne.
Yeah.
Dear me. Grow up, Wayne. Mayenda had a quiet game. Most of it has been calling on him to play right wing. When are we going to see Tabby? I think we're all keen.
I saw him against Crystal Palace.
Yeah. Get Tommy Watson back on loan. No, thank you. I don't think that would work. It never works like that. It never works. It's that romanticized in your head, isn't it? LeBrew to blame for me. Hume was like a headless chicken, says Frederick. John Swinney says, got to ask yourself why Brighton sold Adingra. I mean, some players don't perform for teams. We've had players that have left us that have been terrible, gone on to other teams and done brilliant.
He wasn't getting past Matoma.
Exactly.
Emma says, why wait until halftime to make changes? Reg Labrie could see it wasn't working, so why wait till late? I stand by them. I've done management at an amateur level, and if you're determined to try something and set your plan, you will always give it the 45 minutes. Very few managers will change it before, So it can be expensive sometimes, but it's just one of those things.
The thing with West Ham was they weren't raining shots down on us. which is so they scored from their first proper one on target, their header. Then it was a penalty, and then it was a stunner from distance. So he's probably sitting there going, "Well, the penalty is just it's a penalty. It's not, and it's not this." And then stunner happens, and you sort of go, "It's not like Man United where they could have been about 8-0 up at that time."
Yeah,
and
we
it was
weren't
like,
getting absolutely hammered.
Change it. Whereas this one was a bit like, well, hang on, it's a penalty, it's a screamer, and then it was one defensive error, but unfortunately they've all gone in.
Yeah.
Do you think it was
all saving it? If he hadn't slipped taking that penalty, it wouldn't have been in the corner and Roofs would have saved it.
Do you know the thing is that I think, was it not a case that Reggie's just went to attacking and thought of West Ham's problems and thought, well, away from home, their home form's toxic. If you get the first goal, their fans turn on them.
I said
and
this
just completely backfired.
I said, hindsight's a wonderful thing, but we really should have played as a back five. Yep. Alderete closer to Reynildo so that he didn't have to constantly bring Bowen down. Hume and Mukaele both in that sort of fixed position. But I still would have been like, well, Getrada needs to play in that position. Or if you're going to play Hume in the midfield, Getrada can go right back at least. But we needed that solidity, which
is he literally experimenting, trying to find a winning away formula? Is that what we're seeing? It's like the away form thing.
I think he's just trying to shoehorn his favourite players in. There's a little bit of me that thinks like Hume has been great in some games, but has been a detriment and poor in other games, and he's the only one who seems to be just brought back, regardless. He had missed a game, and I can't remember which game he was actually dropped for, but it was a home game. I think we won, and then it was like, oh, he's back in the next week, and it was like, well, hang on, just play the same.
It's interesting. You don't know what goes on behind the dressing room.
And Hume's been fantastic. I don't really like to slag him off because it's not like he's just shit every week. He is a really good player. I wish he'd score a fucking header, though. Like, the amount he gets up for these headers and it just wide over. You're like, just get one on target, mate. Just seriously.
Gary says, how long is Xhaka sidelined for? I don't know if you guys know anything. The original thing I heard was 1 or 2 games, just like a rest more than anything.
I think 2 weeks, and then they assess him, they said.
That's what I heard, yeah.
Potentially Arsenal, potentially.
So he might be back for Arsenal. That's Arsenal's the earliest he can be back for, isn't it?
I think they wouldn't risk him against Arsenal because it's an away game. I think they'll sort of.
I don't know. I think you've seen him away his old club.
He'll want to play, wouldn't he?
He'll want to play. He'll want to play.
But there's that decision in there of going, do you get him in there to potentially, if he's not 100%, to injure himself more and leave him, we've got to think coming up, we're not very good away from home, and coming up in about a month.
We've got Liverpool at home in the midweek after that, don't we? And then Oxford in the Cup.
Oxford for me is a bigger game. But I was going to say the Mags are coming up not long in our away game fixtures, and we're shit away from home. We need to sort that out.
We find that formula. Right.
We can start there. That's fine if we're going to lose all of them until we get to them and win that one. I'm all right with that.
If this season's anything to go by, we have a terrible game like this, we're all really disappointed, then we go on a decent run. So let's just stick with that and think, Mike's going to quite a few games, and I've not been to a losing one yet, so I'll try and,
Me either. None of us have been to a home defeat this season.
I suppose. Yeah, that's right.
Michael's the only one who's been to a loss this season.
It's your fault. It's all your fault.
No, it's pretty much. I didn't even go on Saturday.
Yeah.
I stayed at home.
Right, so here's the time in the stream where let's have a little bit of fun. You guys can join in the chat. So if you're going to complain,
so
just go and talk about football.
You didn't talk about football anymore. Get over it.
Wayne, have you got something for us?
Yes, I've just got the usual. Who am I? I hope it's Ari, because I've just quickly put it together.
Can't wait to get all these wrong like I did last week and lose to Mike. I'm losing my appeal here.
These be dead easy when you think of players that have played for us in Burnley. There's not that many, so.
I know about 5, so if it's one of those, I've got one. No,
okay.
6.
You'll get this one straight away. I'm a right back who came through the Manchester United Academy.
Bill Bardsley.
Correct. Yeah. Well done, Michael.
There you go. That's my one.
I was trying to think too far back, and I was going Burnt Haas, Stephen Wright. I was working my way through, and I was like, it's Bardsley.
These are they're really easy. I'm a powerful centre forward from Scotland.
Fletcher.
Stephen Fletcher. That's 2 on the first clue.
Yeah.
I am a Sunderland legend and former club captain.
Kevin Ball.
Kevin Ball.
Did he I didn't know that.
3 on the first clue.
One on one.
I'm a midfielder who began my professional career at Sunderland and went on to play 349 games.
For Sunderland or just in general?
For Sunderland.
Okay. Started my career.
Was this before he went to Burnley?
Well, if he started.
Well,
his
it would have
career-
been he came through academy.
Yeah.
Didn't
Midfielder came for our academy, then went on to.
I later moved to Burnley and spent several years at Turf Moor.
How unfortunate for him.
he? Oh, have you seen Turf Moor?
I became a consistent performer and scored a famous header in an FA Cup tie versus Chelsea.
Gerard's gone Gordon Armstrong.
He's right.
Oh,
There we go. Well
that's
played,
before my
Gerard.
time.
Well
Yeah,
played.
before my time. So 1-1-1, chat one.
Chat one, I'm
Yeah.
an international winger with flair and creativity.
We never had one of them at Sunderland, so that rules maybe everybody out.
Michael's had enough.
Yeah.
No, someone
England
tried to bloody
international
ring
with
it.
flair and creativity.
I played for Sunderland during my later career.
Oh, that probably explains why I didn't ever think he played for England.
Cole?
Cole.
Cole was a striker though, wasn't he?
Yeah, and you meant Andy Cole, right? I was with you.
Yeah.
Can you repeat that one? Can you repeat that one again, Wayne? Just because I'm trying to get my dog to settle.
I'm an England international winger with flair and creativity. I played for Sunderland later in my career. I was known for dribbling, vision, and technical quality.
Zenden says Hutch.
He's not English.
He was
Bally.
English, yeah.
We've already had
England
Ball.
international winger. I earned over 60 caps for England.
Fucking hell, that's got to be someone obvious then. Who am I missing?
So obvious we can't get him.
We didn't play that many wingers
I've
for England for a
also
long
played.
time.
I also started my career with Newcastle.
Chris Waddle.
Chris Waddle.
Where Changing Crisis got that first. Thank you very much. And then Keith.
Waddle.
The chat's winning 2-1, lads. Come
Yeah,
on.
2-1-1-1.
Unforgettable.
That's it. That's all of them. That's the only ones I've got.
Oh, chat wins.
Chat wins.
Okay, little fun fact. I saw. I was looking
Tom
at
Hutchison,
Burnley
he
and
played
stuff
for both
like
teams.
that.
I was waiting for him.
In 1925, a player moved from Burnley to Sunderland and broke the world transfer record fee called
Wait,
Bob Kelly.
Oh,
How much do you think that was?
150 quid.
200 quid.
£6,550 in 1925, and that was the world transfer record fee.
I've had
We
cars
had
more
it.
Wow.
expensive than him.
There we go.
You think 100 years later, the transfer record will now be like 200 million.
Yeah.
10,000. It's 500. Excellent. Conrad,
Yep.
do I need my notepad? Oh.
Yeah, but just to count to 20 again, I've just got one player again, and it's just 20 questions of yes or no.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, no blind ranking on this one. I might bring that back next time if people prefer it. But yeah, we just got one Sunderland player who you've just got to try and get down to within 20 questions. So we'll do one each, and then you can get the chat folk in on one as well. That's fine.
Okay.
Anyway,
Is he? Did he play from 2010 onwards for Sunderland?
yes.
There we go. I knew. You never do anything old, so I'm out.
Stan Varga was in bloody 2000.
Well, I think it's because he's taking into account the fact that I only started following football at that point. So
Yeah.
Was he the one? Should I just ask the default one that I asked last week? Is he shite?
No.
No.
Objectively
joke.
not.
Objectively,
joke,
no.
Is he English?
No. What do the chat say? No.
One question, guys. Bank of England.
I don't know who
Bank of England.
Did he play up front?
No.
No. Is he an attacking player? This is from the chat.
Yeah.
There we go.
Did he play for us before our exit from the Premier League under Moyes?
No.
So since.
Moyes.
By the way, when I say that, I mean from 2010 to 2017. So did he play in that period? Is what I
Oh,
mean.
no, he didn't.
Wow, he's so good. He played for us. Okay, then.
Is he a player we have now?
No.
No. Okay. Is he African from the?
No.
Okay.
Is he left-footed from the chat? Sorry, I know there's two there, but
From what you remember.
I wouldn't say predominantly left-footed, no.
right, Brett, we've already had that. He's not.
So what have we established so far? Sorry, so he's not English.
He's not African. He's not English. He's
not
an
shy.
attacking player. He doesn't
Not
play
shy,
up front though, so he's like an attacking midfield or
Or
a
it could be a
winger.
winger, yeah. And he
Is he
did
French?
And he didn't play for. Okay, so my follow-up question: so, did he play for us in the League One years?
Yes. That's 10.
Is it Aidan McGeady?
It is Aidan McGeady.
Way!
I was gonna get
Well done.
That left-footed one threw me off at what I was like.
Right.
Well,
I was trying to
he's
think-
right-footed.
I was thinking
Well,
the
I was
not shite players in League One. He was only the one.
Yeah,
Well, I
he's
was
the only
gonna
one
say-
I know. Yeah, that's what
wasn't it
I'm
that
trying to
one
think
game
who would
against?
be.
Wasn't it
not
that one
shy.
game against Doncaster where he had 4 crosses with his left foot 4 times and Wyke scored 4 headers?
Four
Remember that?
Yeah, I think someone in the chat actually put it up first, and I was
Did
like,
he?
please don't read that. Please don't read that. Yeah. Where is it? A bit further
Geeds.
back.
He put Geeds.
I'll
Yeah,
be
there
honest,
you go.
I never saw.
I'll
him.
tell you what. Here's a question on the
Well
back
played,
of that.
Merton. Well played.
Here's a question on the back of that. Then, what would you say is your favourite Aidan McGeady moment? It doesn't necessarily have to be a goal. It could be a Sunderland Till I Die interview. It could be something you said in an interview and on a podcast.
When the kids were throwing snowballs at him, and he was going, embarrassing, gimps, little girls.
Gimps, little girls.
No,
When he was slagging off Simon Grayson.
Do you know what?
Yeah. His
Do you
free
remember,
kick against Portsmouth for me when I was at
Mr.
Wembley.
Bojingles is watching on catch up.
That's the first goal I'd seen live at Wembley, being there, and that McGeady free kick against Portsmouth was absolutely class to be a part of that.
Oh yeah, the free kick at Wembley. Yeah, that was great.
Wasn't a great
Jules
day
really
at the
because,
end,
like,
but it was a great goal.
Leaving the club, I like that.
Which time?
Yeah, no, it's weird because during an absolutely horrendous time period, the worst period in our history, he was probably one of the few bright sparks in that era. For me, it's got to be that Doncaster game. How Doncaster let him get 4 crosses of exactly the same nature in 4 times, I have no idea.
Yeah.
But it was just one where you just
That
think
game end 4-2, and we were 4-1 at half
Lee
time.
Birch saved 2 penalties in that game as well.
He did, yes, that's what he did.
Right, and I know we've touched on it a little bit, and I want to ask a question just before we go on to quickly preview Burnley. We don't do too in depth the previews, guys, because you can catch all of our channels. We all do match previews, so go and check them out.
Well,
closer
I
to the
don't,
time.
but I can
Yeah,
never be
well,
bothered. These
it'll
3
do the
do.
review. But we've talked about transfers briefly, and we've said we've got the money there, we've got the funds there. With games like that, do you think we will see a desperate kind of we need to sign somebody, like a big money signing, something like that? Would that motivate someone as young, like a young owner, to go, right, I'm going to throw some cash at this issue?
I don't think we need to. I think if we didn't have the points on the board, then maybe. If he's worried about getting relegated, then possibly. But I think now, he knows we're pretty much safe. Like we've been saying, in January, the prices are massively inflated. You get your pants tucked down, didn't you? Get shafted. So if clubs know you want a player so bad that they stick 15, 20 million on top of the player. So for me, if the right player's not out there, I'd rather not sign them because we've got enough quality in the squad for me to be safe and finish still in the top half. So
you'd be happy though if it was some money at market value.
If the right deal is to be done, then obviously you would have to go for it. But it's very difficult to find players in January at market value. The only players you're going to get is like players who are out of contract end of the season where clubs are desperate to get them off the books and take a lower fee for them. So, but there's not many players about.
It's also the time of year, I think, for a lot of clubs who have made signings or they're not quite worked out, and they potentially look to loan out some good players because they're not working at their club.
Your best bet's getting loan deals in, especially with the World Cup coming as well. Players who are not getting a game will want game time second half of the season, so they'll be looking to get out. I mean, I think I've seen today about Raheem Sterling's available on a free transfer. I mean, is he worth it?
That's probably a good one, actually. So,
McGuire and McDonald.
Yeah, with Parkinson's one, yeah, you're right. The loan market's probably the best one. I think Sterling could be all right, but there's a lot about him that I don't like in terms of his style of play, and I don't think he fits. But You know,
It's better than what we've got, any.
Yeah, well, he probably produced more than what we've got,
Right.
if not about the same. So you don't really lose anything. I saw we recalled Alexic because that's why
I
we
saw
let
that.
Masuaku go, because you can only have 6 players out on international loan. So it was a sort of thing of like, well, you're not really playing out there, and we really want Masuaku off the wage budget. So off you fuck, you know.
Right.
So
Right,
he's
right.
come back, and that's, you know. I don't think he's going to play much either, but he always looked weird, I thought, Alexis. Like, he could take people on and run really well with the ball, but just nothing at the end about him. So, but yes, you're right. The loan market's probably where you're going to go, but I'm trying to think of anyone in the Premier League who isn't using a winger that you sort of think, oh, God, they're all right. Actually, we'd have
Not
them, but
necessarily
I don't
Premier
know.
League.
I know,
You
but I
could
don't
look
know
at-
outside the Premier League.
Yeah.
That's where my...
Jason Price has just said that Adama Traore has just signed for West Ham, hasn't he?
Yeah, he just joined today, I think, didn't he?
Yeah, but I see defensively he does nout, and all he does is do baby oil and run. Like
Bouncing about the place.
Baby
with his
Ireland.
brand, isn't it?
yeah,
Hey, look, on the bright side, we'd have to play against him for the rest of the season unless we get West Ham in the FA Cup.
yeah, exactly.
Our
For
young
me
owners
at
on
this
the
point,
beat.
I know you were talking about the like you say, Wayne, we're sort of safe, really.
Aye.
You know, 7 more points from what is it, 15, 16 games?
Yeah,
still.
15 games left, I think.
Yeah, so 7 more points to make it pretty much mathematical at this point. This is why I was saying a couple of weeks back, you need to go for the FA Cup, you know. So Pixel Richie, you just said Alexa, play music at full volume. Ha, sod yours all. Yeah, so no, Alexa, shut up.
Can you play on the wing for Sunderland?
Alexa, stop.
Alexa,
Like,
keep
with
going.
my own in there. Yeah, the loan market is probably where we're going to have to go for somebody. I can't remember my initial point now because I've screwed myself over, guys, trying to do the Alexa joke.
I think Mike's question's a fair one, considering this is the last Midweek Mackems of the January window, isn't it? By the time we next talk again, it'll be closed. I think unless a really good deal presents itself in the next, what we got left, 4 days, 3, 4, 5 days left in the window.
Monday night.
I want to see a Xhaka scale signing on deadline
Would be
day.
class.
That's what I want to see.
Well,
Only because it'd be
before
good
you
for
said deadline
YouTube
day, we
numbers.
did see it. It was called last summer. We did see one like that. See, for me,
I
I
would
think
expect we see a summer like last season's again if we stay up where it's just like bam, money for this player, bam, money for that player, bam again, and we do it all really early again, and as in like this is what we're going to do, which is what we did in summer. But in January, they're clearly a bit like, I think we're okay unless the right deal comes up.
and that's a good position to be in, by the way.
Yeah.
I think that's a, I think we're, because at this point, what did we all expect? Well, apart from Mike, where did we all expect to be come January at the start of the season? Probably not far off where Leeds are. Well, certainly at least where Leeds are at best. Or
Probably where
Burnley
West Ham are. Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. So
I said 6th by January, and we were 7th, but joint points on 6th. And I said by the end of the season,
So are you saying now we're only like, what, 2-3 points off 6th?
Listen, I've told you my predictions, and we're not going to keep going over my
Well,
optimism.
okay, all right. Well, to finish my point, though, I think unless a really good, I think a loan deal is probably the best we're going to hope for, really. And I don't mind that. I think as long as, I think in the summer, don't be surprised if we spent maybe 40 to 50 million pound on a winger. I actually don't think it will be. I don't think this summer will be as busy as last summer, because last summer we had to have an overhaul to give ourselves a chance to stay up. This time, unless we get the
quality
big
acquisitions.
Sorry?
It'll be quality acquisitions.
Well, that's what I was going to say, because I think this time, unless anybody, of course, leaves, which could happen, Siddiqui might go. I don't personally think we lose anyone this summer, but that's kind of what we want to do. If we want to increase our turnover, we might need one big sale every summer to fund spending more. But what I was meaning was, last summer we had to have a lot of positions filled because of the nature in which we got promoted. We had to really do a lot, whereas this time, unless anyone leaves, goalkeeper sorted, defense is pretty much sorted, midfield for the most part sorted, and I think this summer you'll see us focus a lot on, obviously you'll sign players in defensive midfielder. There's a great offer that we can't turn down to do, but generally I think we will really prioritise the attacking talent this summer. So I'm all right for the moment. To answer your question, Mike, I think I'm all right for now. And if we didn't sign anyone in the attacking areas anyway, it would be disappointing, but I would move past it quickly because I trust them to do it in the summer.
Yeah,
What
I
about-
think we've got good enough quality. People have mentioned AFCON's finished now. I think we've got a lot.
Yeah, but just the rumours that have been flying around the last couple of days. What if somebody comes in with a 25 million bid for Isidore and he leaves, that leaves us a little bit short. I know he's not getting a game, but
Got a solution to that already. It's not the most popular one, but it's one that I could see happening. If you sold Isidore, get Gehu back for the rest of the season
maybe
as an option. It's not one that I think people would be overly fond of, but I think if it's enough to get us by and that money's saved for the summer, I wouldn't be against it.
We'd have to renegotiate the deal of how much he could play because it's like Robbie is going to play now.
Well,
it's not like before when you came in.
But it's more
and
just
you were gonna have
because
an
he
equal
can
goal.
only play for Chelsea or us this season, can't he?
Yeah.
And even if we start with Broby, where's Gehu more likely going to play? Sunderland or Chelsea?
Yeah.
Well, unless Chelsea have places again, I don't know.
Answer to the question that was in the chat there before. I think Wayne already answered it in the chat. Would we be doing a live for the deadline day? I was going to, but last minute have been offered a ticket to Burnley, so Conrad's ruined that for you. So,
well, unless you want to meet earlier and meet at like 6 o'clock and do a live from outside the stadium. Go live.
I mean, we can
hour.
attempt it. We'll definitely get some content when we're up there either way. So it should be fun. We'll figure something out.
Is the club willing to sack off everyone else going to Founders so we can have it exclusively for like an hour?
Yeah.
On deadline?
I think we might be pushing our luck.
Yeah, I was going to say that's never going to happen, is it?
Yeah, get quick on the phone, Wayne. Get us a executive suite.
Quinn's bar.
We're going to go quickly on to Burnley because we're all going to be there, so it's exciting now for me for a change. Before we do that, hopefully everyone doesn't mind. I'm going to steal your time for 40 seconds and just watch this.
Go for it.
Hi guys, just wanted to take a moment to say this year, for the charity, the Bradley Lowry Foundation, I'm going to be walking the West Highland Way in reverse with full kit while camping along the way. It's a survival challenge and it's definitely a fitness and endurance challenge. We're raising as much money as we can for this absolutely awesome cause. You can donate by giving through Just Giving or through PayPal. Make sure if you do use the PayPal option that you mark it for charity. With your help, we can make a massive difference to some families' lives. So please give whatever you can and help this awesome cause. Cool. Thank you for that. I appreciate you indulging me there. We're already up to £300, I think, just over £300. And an added bonus quickly is if you get to £500, I'm getting my legs waxed again on a live. If we get to,
so glad you said that. I thought you were going to say naked.
If we get to like £1,000, it's going to be like chest and belly and legs. So I'm going to be full.
Come on, guys, get donating. Let's work.
Everyone, tag the club. KLD. £1,000 in now.
I'd do it. Thank you for that. Anyway, right. Let's have a look at Burnley after learning a terrible lesson. Usually Labrie does set up differently. He does learn from his mistakes. We have got a record on the line now. Everyone's talking about the fact that we're unbeaten at home. It feels like a bogey club. Wayne, what's your thoughts going into this one?
Well, obviously, we've bounced back every time we've had a defeat this season without getting a draw or a win, which for me we have to do. I think if we were to lose against Burnley, then there has been a little bit of negativity this week, and the Briggs took quite a bit of stick for the West Ham game. So for me, we have to bounce back and put in a good performance, but he has to get that team lineup right on Monday. It's a potential banana skin. I'm not saying now, but we know in days gone by when records were that he broken, play a team like Burnley that when we get beat, and that's just the way Sunderland used to be. And now this is a different Sunderland side and a different Sunderland squad, but the danger is there for me. Like I said, he has to get that tactic and formation spot on, and he has to bring players like Gertrude in. Diarra has to play for me. So it'll all depend. There'll be a lot of nervousness around it before the team comes out, and hopefully we can bounce back and get back to winning ways. I think we will win, but it's a potential banana skin.
Yeah. Michael, your thoughts on the Burnley lineup? I won't say what will you change because probably the starting 11 would be the answer. Do we go at this like what we know?
I would say you need a midfield three here. I think you need to have the balance. I know people might go, "Oh, that's negative and all that," but I don't think it is. If you deploy it in the right way, it's not negative. And I think you need to have a measure of control. We got overrun on Saturday because we played the midfield, balance just wasn't there. So you need to have a balanced midfield for this game. For me, for this game, obviously, look, as Wayne says, look, it's a classic Sunderland thing, wouldn't it be, to lose on Monday? But if you by the way, there's another quick thing. Again, maybe even Mike mustn't have thought, come the end of January or start of February, Sunderland would be the only team left with an unbeaten home record in the league. Even Mike mustn't have thought that was possible.
I knew it was possible. Yeah.
Well, yeah, obviously, but you wouldn't have thought we'd outlast Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, and all that.
This very show before Man City, we were all like, it was nice while it lasted, guys. We've done well to get this far. How good are we? And then
and then you go, Man City,
God,
yay, brilliant. We've got Man City going to beat us 5-0. But no, to be fair, I think, obviously, look, I really wish Xhaka was playing, but I do think if we get the setup right, I think there's a chance we have enough, as long as nothing daft happens in the game, to beat Burnley. I do get the impression if we're wanting to get top half, we need to be winning games like this. But I want to stress that, obviously, as we got told a lot in League One, and I'm using the same principle here, there is no God-given right to win a game. If you don't turn up, it doesn't mean anything, because Burnley will then, you bet your bottom dollar will be up for it. And Burnley, we've got to forget, although I would be disappointed with anything other than a Sunderland win here, Burnley have improved the last few weeks. They have got results again. Okay, Spurs are Spurs, I can get that, but they should still be better than Burnley. Burnley managed to get some in there. They got a point at Anfield, regardless of what Liverpool are like at the minute. That's a good result. And then they were minutes away, I think, from beating they got a draw against Man United, who improved after they just sacked Amorim. So I think not to take them lightly, although I would be disappointed if we didn't win here.
And don't give them any free kicks because they've just signed Ward-Prowse today. So no free kicks.
And we know what he's like, yeah.
Conrad, going into Burnley, how do you see the changes? How do you see him playing this one? More positive, more attacking, or do we play it safe?
It's a strength because Burnley are probably going to be the one team that will turn up here and try not objectively to have a go at us. And they're quite happy to sort of sit, and as we saw last season when they came for the home game, as we saw at their place as well, and I think they try and do what we do, just not as good at it. And I know that's very rich to say, seeing as they did beat us earlier on in the season, and it will be that sort of same way again. I think they'll come and try to frustrate. They will come to try and sort of disrupt how we play, which will be a hell of a lot easier now. We don't have Xhaka dictating the play of the game. I really do think it sounds daft to say we're on 33 points and it's January. We have to win this game. We really do. Like just to go, right, you're gone, essentially. We're done with that. And the amount of teams in the middle that keep beating each other, I think, is it the first, since Monday, it's the first time this season we've been in the bottom half of the table. Yeah. And I don't like it. I like being in the top 10. I much prefer that. So, for me, we have to go to win it. And if we are going to win it, I see us just eking it out. I don't see us...
Go on, follow it up with your score prediction.
It's a one-goal win now.
It's a one-goal win. And the only reason I think that is because when we played them previously, our striker was Mayenda, who missed a one-on-one open goal. Then you put on Isidore, who did nout, and you put on Giu, who did nout. We've got Robbie up front now, who is a completely different beast for them to have to deal with. We just need to give him the effing ball and just sort of actually do it.
1-0 for you?
1-0 to Sunderland is what I'm going to go for.
Michael Bowers, prediction?
2-1 to Sunderland. I do think we will have enough to win it, but I think a lot of it depends on the setup. And I wouldn't be against whether Diarra starts this game or not. I don't know. If he doesn't, I agree. I wouldn't complain with it. I think I wouldn't complain if Lefay started. I know we can say about Lefay where he plays better on the left of the midfield, but I think if you played Lefay, say, on the left, and you put Diarra in front of Kitruda and Siddiqui, and then you played, even if it was Talby or Adingra or whoever it is on the right, and you have Broby up front, that's surely good enough. As long as we have ourselves well, it's good enough to cause Burnley problems, I'd like to think. But yeah, I think I agree with Conrad. I think we will eke it out, and I think it will be a tight game because obviously Scott Parker's teams. I know Burnley, I think a couple of times have got beaten comfortably, but more times than not when they're losing by one goal. They're not like getting trounced generally in games.
Start of the season, they narrowly lost to Man United away, narrowly lost to Liverpool at home.
And that was down to a penalty, by the way.
Yeah, I think they got beat by Spurs on the opening day, and it was like 3 or 4-0.
But they played all right.
But they had more.
We got beat 3-0 Man City.
Well, they had more possession than Spurs. They had more shots on target than Spurs. But-
You're influencing Wayne's prediction here. Come on, let him get his prediction in.
We're going then, Wayne. This way, Wayne's going to go Sunderland 0, Burnley 1.
No, I never predicted us to get beat. I think it's going to be a difficult game. I think how we start the game will be massively important. If we start on the front foot and don't let them, they're going to come with that low block, and then it's us trying to break it down. So if we can, start fast and start on the front foot, I think we'll have enough. I'm going to go for 2-0. I think we'll beat them. I just think
Nice.
Getting back to clean sheets, and I think obviously we'll be smart after that performance, and we have bounced back from poor performances before. So I think we'll have enough. For me, 2-0.
That's very positive, Wayne. I'm going to have to trump
What
you
did you say
3-0.
again,
I'm
Michael?
going to go
Oh,
3-0.
Trumpet.
Just to trump you. Just think
What-
I've got to
what did
keep my
Bowles say again?
reputation.
Mike,
as the
remind me, which
eternal
games have you
optimist.
been to this season?
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth.
That's it.
2-0 down. 3-2 win. That's all I've been to, yeah.
You're going to Burnley and Fulham, though, aren't you?
Yeah. And Liverpool.
Oh, yeah, you're going to Liverpool when I'm not.
Right,
going
so
to,
what
that's
you're saying is we'll win the next 3 games, then how are we going to get a ticket for Mike at St. James's Park?
Anyone in the chat help us out. If we win all 4 of those, I might say,
If anyone's
Right,
got a
if
ticket,
we win
or-
everything,
yeah.
if anyone's got a ticket or a parachute fan suit, I'm happy to fly in.
please make a Saudi Arabian reference.
Someone needs to take one for the team and not go just so that Mike can be there so he win.
A Nick
Right.
Baltamada tribute for his header.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's stumble over my words for 2 minutes. Right. Okay. Jimmy Paddy has gone for 1-1. Very conservative from Jimmy this time. Richard Forza Roma has gone for 2-0, same as Wayne there. Steve Hewitt's gone for 3-0. I'd like to see a Mr. Brobby get a hat trick, and I don't get to play the clip because I won't be streaming it. So you're lucky. But Paul Armstrong, 2-1, who are the lads? Come on. Wolsey has gone 4-0, so we can bring Mundell on and relax. I'd love to see it. I'd love to be wrong for that to be the reason. Emma's gone for a conservative 1-1. If records serve, every time Emma predicts a draw, we win, so that's a good omen. 3-0 to Sunderland from John Rosenbreyer. And Changing Crisis, it says we're going to win 3-0. He said that as a statement of fact. Miles of Sunderland has gone 2-0 as well. Brian Green has gone, it's a 2-2 draw for me. We're stuck on this draw bandwagon. Emma's gone, what we've already done, Emma. Why are you doing it twice? You're throwing me off. Steve Taylor's gone for a 2-0. Darren Elliott is on something that, I used to be on, and yeah, it's gone. Merton, 76, has gone 3-0, and he's called out for the scorers to be Adingra, Siddiqui, and Brobby. Interesting. Sunderland 3-0, says Gary Hoyle. John W. has gone a nervy 2-1 for me. He's on the same sort of wavelength there as Michael. John Swinney has gone 2-0, but I might change the prediction, sure. 3-1 to the lads, says Leslie, and Darren Elliott's gone 3-2 for his
Not 11-10
prediction. Not 11-10.
No.
Yeah.
21
but-
goals in the game.
Just so everyone's aware, I'll say it one more time. If you want to be in a chance to go in onto our league table for correct predictions, it doesn't count in this live chat. Go on to the preview video. Make sure you get it onto one of the preview videos or on Wayne's preview video. Watch them all and get it onto one of them, and we'll be able to find it and add you to the league. And you can win some goodies at the end of the year. I might even convince Wayne to throw in a T-shirt into the prize pool. That might be good.
If you want one, I'll throw one in Neighbour as well.
Yeah, not the black one. Everyone hates black strips now.
I'm not the guy that's down in the bin.
Do Burnley have a black away kit that's unlucky?
Yes.
Get them to wear it on Monday.
Sorry, last couple. John Rook 0-0. Steve, my brother's gone for 2-1. Everyone coming in. But where have you been? Are you all watching on replay? 2-1 says David. Mr. Bo Jimgles 3-1 and Shauna Tomo 1-0 to the lads. Not reading anymore. That's it. That's pretty much all we've got time for because we promised Wayne an early night. So there you go.
So who wants to have more questions to keep us going for another 20 minutes?
I was just going to ask everyone's thoughts on Dan Neil leaving. Just we haven't covered that.
Yeah, we probably
obviously.
should talk about that.
Sorry, that's it. Yeah.
Dan Neil for me.
Wayne says I, but his eyes say Conrad. I'm going to kill you.
Well, because we have one person here who absolutely.
I love Daniel.
You'd love him now.
I'm gutted. I'm devastated. I cried in my pillow.
For me,
while he was playing.
It's the best. The best
Go on,
outcome
Mike,
out
you
of them.
start. Go on.
I think it's the best outcome all around for club, and well, not for the club because we should have getting money for him, but he wasn't going to sign. He wasn't going to sign a contract. He was never going to make it at this level, you know. I know he wasn't really given a chance. To be fair, he probably should have gotten a bit more game time to prove himself a little bit. He wasn't quite clear. He wasn't in Regis Labrisa's plan, so he's had to leave. Just a shame that he's gone. He's going to go for the end of the season because, you know, we probably could have gotten about 6-7 million quid for him. So that's the frustrating thing for me. But wish him all the best. He's played a massive part in where we're getting to. You know, our captain last season played a big part in the championship side. So wish him all the best. Hope Ganson works out for him. It's a great move for Ipswich. It's a great signing for them. He'll help them with their promotion push. So for me, wish him all the best. And, you know,
I think it's we've probably sort of let him go on the caveat that they're paying his wages at this point here, just to be like, well, we won't get a fee from him at the end, but at least we haven't had to pay that bit while we're doing this. A bit like the Alexic and Masuaku thing. We've probably just been a bit sort of cleverer with how we've gone about it, really. And I agree. I think he's probably picked Ipswich because Clark's there, and I think they were good mates while they were up here. So, and Ipswich are only a couple of points behind Middlesbrough in second place in the league, so they're going really strong, and I think he'll do really well at Ipswich, and I hope all the best for him, apart from if he ever plays against us again. But yeah, it was just a case of, it's like we said earlier on in the season, we've got no room for sentiment. That's it. Yeah, when we've got to progress.
I'd have rather seen him in the centre in that last game than shoehorning Human. So
exactly, and that says a lot about how Regis thought of him as a player in this system, that he still rather move a right back in and around that sort of position than play someone who actually played there for a full season and led us to promotion as well. But I can't sit here and go, oh, like he should still be here and starting. Like, no, he wasn't going to get ahead of Xhaka and Siddiquis and Humes and Gatraders and what have you. But I wish him all the best, and, you know, it's a shame to see one of your own go, but he lived the dream, didn't he? He got to win a trophy at Wembley with Sunderland, even though it was a playoff one, and
it's
that's all we'd ever want, isn't it? You know,
it's iconic seeing that picture of him as a kid in the crowd, sort of thing, supporting the club, sort of thing.
He's captain the club and also, you know, a fair play to him.
Yeah. So there you go. That's the summary. We all wish him the very best. But
did Michael have anything on him?
I was going to say, I'm not even going to say yet.
Michael hasn't said anything on him.
Oh, sorry. I thought.
Thought you were going to.
I'm thinking of Wayne.
No, right. Okay. I'll try and keep this brief. I think the fact he didn't play during the AFCON period, I think, spoke volumes for me quite a lot. I think that he obviously, as of right now, he's not a Premier League player. Although I think, like Wayne did allude to, we didn't really get the chance to prove it. But I think a lot of that was down to the contract situation. Someone might have thought, well, why are we going to put a lot of investment into making sure Neil's ready for the Premier League when he hasn't committed a contract? At this point, though, I do get what everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but I will never understand how some say that he's a crap player, because I really don't think he is. I think certainly, okay, at Premier League level, it's hard to judge. Championship level, I will die on the hill that he is a top-end Championship player. And I'm quite firm on that. I think I think people underestimate a lot of how the position he was asked to play in, which is the pivot role, which is where Corey Evans played, and Dan Neil had to adapt to that. It is, I think All Ending put it on a video he did with Conor Bromley, and I'd recommend you go and check that out. They're a really good duo together. But he said it's a very exposed position that if you get a mistake wrong, then people slate you for it. But generally, I felt last season he came of age quite a lot when it was a season where he was captain. And I think put it this way, there's a reason for me that Ipswich, a parachute payment club who's got one of the richest squads in the league, who are going for automatic promotion, wanted to sign Dan Neil. And if anything, I'm quite surprised they didn't go for him in the summer. When the Hayden Hackney deal fell through for them, I thought there was a chance they would go for Dan Neil. The only regret I've got, really, is I think we could have sold him in the summer and got a fee for him. And I think that would have been a huge thing. But look, it is what it is.
Good business by Ipswich. Good business by them.
I think it's a really cracking deal for Ipswich. I really do. And I think it's a cracking signing. And I wouldn't be surprised, like Conrad said, if there's Jack Clark there had something to do with that. For me, I think Dan Neil, I think what Phil Smith said it on the Whistle videos he does on the Sunderland Echo YouTube channel, that Dan Neil has done more for his boyhood club than a lot of players would get to do in their careers. And I think that helping us get back from League One, captain us in the Championship and getting back to the Prem, that's not nothing. And I don't think it should be dismissed as nothing. He played a massive part. There was a reason that he was a big player around the dressing room. And if you don't believe us, go and see what Luke O'Nien said about him, which was, one of the first things he said when we got promoted was, he needs you lifting that trophy with me. Him and his one arm in a sling, so one arm lifting the trophy. But it says a lot about the character of the man, and I think that he will be. And I think it's a shame, but I think he can at least leave knowing that he's left us in a better place than when he walked into the first team. So yes, thank you to Dan Neil. Really,
can I say the dream when he's still young like this is
24 years old.
It's kind of like what we were thinking with Henderson and stuff. To see him come back in his later years, if he's done really well and give something back to the club and come back. We were hoping for that with Henderson. Obviously, that didn't come off, but you never know. He could develop into such a great player, and we might see him again in red and white. It is his boyhood club after all, so maybe the chapter's ended, but maybe the book's not closed on Dan Neil, is what I would say.
You never know.
Yeah.
Good luck to him wherever he goes after Ipswich, though.
And now let's talk about
And now let's talk about Wayne's OnlyFans.
OnlyFans and SAFC. No, go on, Wayne. Tell us what's coming up on your channel this week.
Match preview. It'll be out tomorrow, probably. Then there'll be a match day vlog on Monday with all yous on. I hope we'll probably catch up at some point on Monday night, and then there'll be the match review, and that'll be it. Not really much planned, to be fair, unless there's any transfer news to be done. I might do a couple of shorts, and we'll see if it develops before deadline day, which I'm expecting to be a bit quiet, but you never know. Never say never.
Yeah, and he's getting inundated in his email for the awesome shirts he's got. So go and check out the channel if you've not already seen it. Go into his post section. You can see all about them and his quality modeling work. I'm going to call you out on it, Wayne, looking off into the middle distance and stuff. But go and check out his merch. It's absolutely really quality gear. So go and check that out as well. Michael Bowers, what's coming up on your channel this week?
Well, I'm going to do a behind-the-scenes video of setting up OnlyFans and SCFC, getting Wayne's picture of the Wayne's bed sorted, and then we'll start advertising it, and then we'll set him up for life, No, not quite. Mainly it'll be reviewing the game on Monday between Sunderland and Burnley. Maybe do a live stream afterwards, sort of talking about it, and maybe do one talking about deadline day or the window. Even though I have a feeling like Wayne, it'll be quiet, but. And then look forward to doing this again with you, lovely lot. And it'll be class to see everyone. See you three on Monday. So. We'll see if we can sort something out. But thanks for having us on again. Love you all to bits and love doing this.
Awesome. Thank you. Conrad, what's coming up on our channel? You've not sent me the schedule of Mike when I need you kind of thing. So it was gonna be a transfer show, a commentary followed by transfer show, and you've just ruined it for all of you.
Yeah, I have. Yeah. Well, I was set up to do more transfer videos this week, but then I was like, every piece that was coming out was just, they're not going to do anything. They're not going to do anything. And I thought, all that'll happen is I'll do a video, and then everyone will just be like, actually, I think you'll find it then. And I was just like, well,
why don't you do a video?
When's that stopped us? When's that ever stopped us?
Conrad, make Mike do a tribute video to Dan Neil.
Yeah, true. I might just make a shot of him and just sort of go, he's the best player we've ever had.
Stream live from the match on Monday. Just do a live stream from the match.
Yeah. I think we've got a preview video coming out probably Friday or Saturday, and then we'll have a review after the game. Potentially a few videos from at the game as well. We don't know. We'll see yet. But I'll
definitely be vlogging. I vlog everywhere I go.
There we go. So so we'll do that, and we'll do some more promotion for your awesome charity work, Mike, as well. And make sure that we get that in there. And again, if anything happens with transfers, we'll talk about it, see what you think. But that's about it at the minute. It feels like it's dying off, and we're not even at the end of January, but it's because Sunderland have been so fucking boring.
Just brace yourself. It's
just
all going
to be on 100 players so we can all talk about something.
Conrad, it'll be for a very exciting summer. It's fine.
That's fine, yeah.
Well, with that said, it is awesome doing this every single week with all these guys. 3 separate channels up there for you to go and check out, have a look at. Please show some love to absolutely all of them. Whichever channel you're watching on now, make sure you have hit the like before you leave. We really do appreciate every single one of you. Makes us feel like we talk sense sometimes, which is a lie, but it still helps. So
you're coming back strong if we get Europe this season and just make it so like I talk sense all along. When we
win the FA Cup and get Europe.
When we finish 17th and win the FA Cup.
Wayne's going, click the button. I want to go to bed. Right. See you later, guys. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Midweek Mackems, we're back on the show. Talking Sunderland, everything you know.